Chapter 8 Warn the Scientists. There were some people who felt they had to see Roosevelt, but the president couldn't see everyone who wanted to see him, especially with a war going on. It was a group of scientists. They had something very important to tell the president. How could they get to him? If only they had gone to Miss Roosevelt, they might have had no problems. But they didn't think of that. They met and planned and worried. Then someone got a bright idea. There was one scientist who Roosevelt would listen to, almost anyone in the world who would listen to him. He was Albert Einstein, and he was the greatest scientist of the 20th century and one of the greatest scientists of all times. He had discovered the theory of relativity. That theory changed the way science looks at the world. Einstein was born in Germany. Because he was Jewish, he had to escape from that country, and he did. He became a fellow of the Institute of Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey, and an American citizen. Other scientists fled the evil regiments in Germany and Italy too. Hitler lost their fine minds and talents. Britain and the United States gained them. Some of those scientists knew that the Germans were working on a secret weapon. It was more powerful than anything the world had never known. If the Germans developed it, they would probably win the war and rule the world. Roosevelt had to be told, but scientists who talked of secret weapons sounded like dreamers. Roosevelt was busy with important practical matters. He needed to strengthen the Army and Navy. He needed warships and carriers and tanks and planes. He had a depression to fight too. Secret weapons, super bombs, wasn't that stuff of science fiction? Einstein's friend Leo Szilard urged him to write a letter to the president. Then Szilard convinced Alexander Sachs, a businessman and New Deal advisor, to deliver the letter. Sachs told FDR about the Germans' secret weapon. The president didn't seem to be paying attention. He must have had all those other things on his mind. Sachs was desperate. How could he get the president to pay attention? Finally, Sachs remembered that Roosevelt loved history. He used that knowledge. He told Roosevelt that the French Emperor, Napoleon, was fighting the British when he was told about an American inventor, Robert Fulton, who had built a ship powered by steam. It could carry troops. Napoleon didn't pay attention. Steam power? All he knew was about sails. Roosevelt realized that if Napoleon had listened, he might have been able to invade England and win the war. Roosevelt didn't want to make that mistake that Napoleon had made. He was ready to listen to Sachs. He was ready to read Einstein's letter. He decided that the United States should work on the secret weapon and try to develop before the Germans did. It was an enormous decision. It would be very costly. It was a race against time. The scientists told Roosevelt that they intended to split tiny particles of matter, the nuclei of atoms, and that would release vast amounts of energy. They could use that energy to make the most powerful weapon the world has ever seen. Roosevelt was convinced. The president made the decision to let the scientists go ahead with their plan. The project was top secret. Not even the vice president knew about it.